This is the May 19th meeting of the Porter County Recycling and Waste Reduction District Board of Directors. President Jones.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the meeting. Let's start out with the Pledge of Allegiance, if we can. Clay, can you put up can you put up our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United
States of America,
and
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Carrie, would you please call the roll for us?
Commissioner Blaney.
It appears we've lost Commissioner Blaney temporarily.
We will return. Councilmember Graham. Not present. Commissioner Biggs. Not present. Commissioner Good. Not present. Mayor Lynch.
here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Gully.
Here. We need to get Commissioner Blaney back in order to have a quorum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold 1 minute, I will text her.
Tim, while you're waiting there, this is Dwayne Davison. Can you see and hear me?
I can sure hear you. I can't see you, but that doesn't mean you're not there.
Okay, thanks.
I can see you, Dwayne.
I can see his beard.
Do you recognize me? I guess is the question.
No.
Hey, only until a vaccine happens, or it's safe to go out for everybody, whichever comes first. Then I'll shave my hockey playoff beard.
It looks good, Dwayne. It really does.
Thanks.
Carrie, did you hear from Sylvia?
I did. She said she would be present for the call.
I'm texting her.
Councilmember Graham should be connecting in the next minute or two, and Commissioner Blaney is attempting to get logged back in. Commissioner Blaney is traveling at this moment, and she said it will be about 2 minutes before she has a Wi-Fi signal.
Am I there yet? Am I here?
I hear you. Hi, Sil.
Hello. Sorry, I apologize.
You are forgiven, Sylvia.
Very much.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's perfect. We were right in a roll call. Can I continue the roll call and head back to Commissioner Graham,
Present.
Commissioner Blaney?
Present.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. We have two different sets of minutes before you in your packets. If everyone's had a chance to look at the minutes from December 17th of 2019, I would entertain a motion to accept unless there's any questions or
I'll make a
corrections or
motion to
concerns.
accept the minutes as submitted.
I'll second that.
Very good. It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
It has to be a roll
No, we
call.
have to do a roll
Oh,
call.
I'm sorry.
We have to do a
I'm
roll
sorry.
call.
Yep, sorry.
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully.
Yes.
Fantastic. So it's unanimous. And then we also have our meeting minutes from January 14th of this year. I would entertain a motion to accept those minutes or unless there's a correction. And Clay had pointed out that it says under the call to order should be Mayor Lynch and not Councilmember Lynch. That was the only error that I knew about. Is if there's any more, speak up. Otherwise, let's take a roll call on that. Carrie, please.
Well,
Your
first we
motion-
need a motion. I
Oh.
will motion to approve with the correction.
Okay.
I will
Is there a
second.
second?
I will
Very good.
second, Tim.
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully.
Yes.
It's a 5
Very
to
good.
0.
Yes. Unanimous. Next up is the approval of financials through April 30th of this year. Again, if there's anybody has any questions or concerns, otherwise I would entertain a motion to accept the financials as submitted.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Carrie, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch.
Yeah.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully,
Yes.
5 to 0.
Very good. Motion approved. Next up is we have a resolution in front of us, 2020-02, adoption of the Porter County COVID-19 Safety Action Plan. Any comments, concerns, corrections, or I would entertain a motion to pass resolution 2020-2.
Motion to approve.
I will second that motion.
Very good. It's been motioned and seconded. Carrie, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully.
Yes.
Vote would be 5 to 0.
Excellent. Passed resolution 2020-2 unanimously. Next up, we have an ordinance 2020-1 is amending fees for the district compost sites. Carrie, do you need us to suspend the rules and pass that on the first reading today? Or is this, you want to just consider this the first reading and we would pass it at our next meeting?
If it could be passed, that would be, Clay would have to chime in, but what we were looking at is reducing the exposure to our staff and the contractors, as well as lessening the burden at this current time. We just requested it through August 1st, so it's about 70 days to release that burden of fees.
Okay,
If it's the pleasure of the board to do so, I would suggest suspending the rules and passing on second reading today. Another reason that this is required is because your current ordinance requires the collection of those fees, and on a future audit by State Board of Accounts, if we don't have this ordinance in place, they could give us a slap on the wrist for not having this paperwork in order.
very good. Then I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules and pass this ordinance on second reading today.
Well, you need to pass it on first reading and then.
Oh, okay, we'll do it on the first reading first. Okay.
I'll make that motion. You
Is
want me
there
to?
a second?
I make the motion as you stated.
Okay, is there a second?
I thought,
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to pass on the first reading. We do need to do roll call here, don't we, Clay?
Correct. You need to pass it on the first reading, roll call vote, motion to suspend the rules, roll call vote, and then motion to pass it on second reading, roll call vote.
Gotcha. So I need a roll call for the first reading. Carrie, please.
Commissioner Blaney,
yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully.
Yes.
Very good. We passed the first reading. Now, I would like a motion to suspend the rules and pass it on the second reading.
Motion to
So moved.
suspend.
I'll second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Carrie, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully.
Yes.
5
Very
to
good.
0.
Very good. Now, I would entertain a motion to pass ordinance 2020-1 on the second reading.
Motion to approve ordinance 2020-1
On the second reading.
on the second reading.
Is there a second to that?
Second that motion.
Carrie, could you, it's been motioned and seconded. Would you call the roll again for us, please?
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully.
Yes.
Excellent.
5 to 0.
2020-1, ordinance 2020-1 has been passed unanimously. Thank you very much, everybody. New business, Republic Services drop-off recycle service agreement option to renew for 2021. Carrie, you
Yep.
would like to speak toward that?
Yes, our current contract expires at the end of 2020, December 31st, 2020. We have a mutual consent to renew for 2021, a 12-month, the same costs, the same current agreement. However, the mutual consent must renew by June 1st. So I'm just looking to see if the board is interested in continuing. We are in support. We just need a vote of approval from the board.
Is there some discussion anybody would like to chime in on that? If not, I would entertain a motion to go through the Valpo Republic Services drop-off agreement for 2020 through 2021.
Motion to renew the 2021 Republic Services drop-off recycling agreement.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay.
Great, it's been motioned
Commi-
and seconded. Could you please do the roll call for us, Carrie?
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully,
Yes.
5-0.
Excellent. Thank you all. Next up is the Valparaiso compost site, MOU. Carrie, again, up to you, right?
Sure, absolutely. The benefit of being the director, which I love, so thank you.
Yeah.
There are actually two MOUs to discuss. The first one is in your packet. With our delay of our original meeting, we currently have a contract with an MOU with the city of Valparaiso from March 31st to May 31st that has already been approved by the Valparaiso City Public Works. We just need an approval by our board. So that is the MOU from March 31st to May 31st.
Motion to approve the MOU for the Valparaiso compost site from March 31st to May 31st. Is that what you said, Carrie?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Great. It's been motioned and seconded. Carrie, could you please call the roll for us again?
Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Gully,
Yes.
5-0.
Great.
So now just to keep the board apprised, and I don't know how you want to do this, we obviously, with May 31st being next week, we have approached the city of Valparaiso again to extend our MOU. The past two have been within 60 days, so I have asked for a longer extension. They are working with the city administrators and will be getting a proposal back. I have suggested a possibility of those sites through the end of this year, December 31st, 2020.
And one of the things in talking with Carrie about this is, that whether the city of Valparaiso has some reservations about renewing this. I'd like to see if we can't get together with the powers that be there, whether it be me and Carrie, myself and Carrie, or anyone else on the board who would like to join, and maybe have a sit down in the next couple of months with the city administrator to discuss our options on that. Just because it's going to be hard for us to find anything else, at least until the end of this year. So I'd like to sit down with the administrators if that's, but everyone else thinks that's a good idea.
Chairman Jones, are we
Yes.
having any issues with that? I mean, do they have reservations with us functioning with them?
I don't know. I think they do as of like to have it there permanently. I think I don't know what their reservation might be. That's why I'd like to sit down with them. I'm not really sure what their reservation is. I know, they have spoken in the past that it's not a big enough site, or, I don't know what their issues are, but Carrie, maybe you could speak to that.
And I don't know. I will tell you, I just did send out an email to the board this past week. We reopened last Monday, May 4th. And based on our records, that day in Valparaiso was the highest populated day we have ever had. We had over 500 cars come through, and that didn't even include the drop-off recycling sites. So that was visitors for electronics, compost, mulch, dropping off brush, dropping off electronics. I mean, we had high activity in all sites, obviously, because of the pandemic and being closed. Last week, we handed out over, with the city of Valparaiso, over 500 cubic yards of compost, celebrating International Compost Week. So we're getting a lot of traffic, which is great. The residents are they're very pleased with knowing they can drop their electronics, the light bulbs. There's a lot of recycling services we do have and hold at the compost site.
I do understand Valparaiso's concerns, and I think definitely we need to reach out to them and have a discussion with them. In fact, if 3 or 4 of us want to go,
Yeah.
I think right now that the unincorporated area of Porter County is really desperately needing to find, we need to find a permanent spot. But in the meantime, we're at the mercy of Valparaiso. So we do need to have a discussion with them. So I would gladly serve on that along with whoever else wants to, but it's very important that we don't get shut out.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think some of the issues I've heard are, it's muddy, that kind of thing. But I think if we are going to want to be there permanently, then we can be responsible for upgrading the area around our containers, whether it be
Absolutely.
mulch or cinders or gravel or whatnot. But
That's very good, Laura. Very good,
Yeah.
Commissioner.
I would, just so that you know as well, after the season, we're not intending originally to be up here for a longer time than the winter months when we were shifted in December. The boxes have moved, so they are before the site. So the city of Valparaiso has been great to work with Public Works on working with us on allowing us to move, and we're trying to keep the flow. And now with the social distancing practices we have started to implement, it's been a good learning lesson. Signage, things have really changed up there in a very positive way as well.
Yeah, I'd be open to, maybe we send out an email, Carrie, from you or from me, asking which one of the board members would want to go, and then maybe we can contact the city administrator and find out to sit down and have a meeting. I know we could probably only have, 3 of us board members together at the same time, so we don't have a quorum there.
That's correct.
Good point.
So we would need to limit it to 3 of us, I think.
Well,
But
seeing that Commissioner Blaney spoke out, maybe she's the one that would be saying, who's going to pay for what. I think it might be good if,
Yeah.
Laura, what do you think?
I'm fine with that.
awesome.
And you know what, Tim, I'll help out if you need me to, but if you have a quorum, it's okay. Just know that I'm here if you need me to step up.
Yeah, I think it might be a good idea, Sue, for you then too. So that would be you, myself, and then Laura.
Yeah.
And then Carrie.
Yeah.
If that works for everybody, then let's plan on that. And then maybe I'll reach out and send an email. Who do I need to send that to? I guess, Carrie, do you know that?
I can get you the contact after this meeting.
All right. Yeah, that'd be great. We'll see if we can't set something up here in the next couple of months. Hopefully sooner than later. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. So how should we proceed in regards to the MOU we have yet to receive from the city of Valparaiso? What would the board like to do?
Well, we can't really do anything, can we, if we don't have it?
Correct.
Yeah. Do I need to call someone maybe between now and then? Or
I've been informed they're working on it.
okay.
So
Well, I guess we'll just wait and see then.
okay, I just want to make sure that it's
Maybe Tim, as chairman of our board, maybe you need to reach out to them if Carrie gives you a contact to say that we had our meeting and that you know, we just need to know where we're at with that.
Yep. I would be very open for that. So Carrie, we'll get together and I'll get that contact information from you then.
That sounds great.
Super. Okay, up next is the CAC's update. Dwayne, I think you're still on there, aren't you? What do we got, brother?
Yes, so I've got three things. Hello to everybody. Following up on the compost site discussion, previously the streets and sanitation supervisor was a bona fide position, and then with the new mayoral change, that position was left vacant, and they generally were in charge of the compost site. So has that position been filled or is it not? And then who would be head of it now?
That's a good question.
The contacts that I have still continued to work with are my contacts have remained the same. Now who they're reporting to might be different, but my contacts in the city of Valparaiso that we've worked with at the compost site have been Brian Dishman and Brent Dickinson.
Right, yeah, they're second and third in command, I would say. So if that's who you've been working with, then probably that's who we would continue to work with. So my guess is they haven't filled that position, and that's fine then. So secondly, I did talk with a CAC member who was interested in viewing this meeting, but they didn't have Facebook. Is there an alternative, presuming we have at least one more of these types of meetings, which are, I guess, supposed to be public? Is there another way in the future that someone could access without Facebook?
I thought you could just dial in on your phone. Why do you have to have Facebook?
It's streaming live on Facebook Live.
Okay, I'm sorry, Tim.
No, that's okay. But there is no other, as it stands right now, there is no other way. That's the only way that the county has it set up. Sorry. I don't
Could
know
they
if
go
that
to
can,
someone else's home? Could they go where there is, where somebody else has an account and they can get on?
This is somebody that would have been doing from work, so I'm not sure about that option. But Sue, you bring up a good point. Is there a possibility of only phoning in and not having, the video part?
yeah, that's a good question too.
I do believe that it's possible through Zoom, if we have a public link to Zoom and the host can mute people and, not allow them to speak and interrupt and things of that nature. Right now, the public health emergency declared by the governor is through June 4th. So any public meetings through that date can be held as we're holding this meeting electronically, but after that date, unless it's extended or somehow updated, I don't believe we'd be able to do so. So the meeting that's currently scheduled for July 14th, if it's held without any changes from the governor, that meeting would have to be in person.
Okay, gotcha, thanks. And finally, could be a moot point, but maybe Carrie has information on this. I was going to ask Commissioner Biggs about his appointment to the CAC. That position is, unless he has filled it already, vacant. So we were waiting to meet as a CAC until that position was filled. We did give two recommendations to him with no, specific one over the other, but just two possibilities. I did call, left a message this morning, didn't hear back. So do we have any information on that vacant seat from Commissioner Biggs?
I do not. Carrie?
I do not as well.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll just then hopefully wait to hear back from him. And once he's made that appointment, then we'll go ahead and schedule our meeting, which may or may not be online.
Yeah.
And we'll keep in touch with Terry on that.
Good, great. Thank you, Dwayne. That's it then for you today?
Yes, thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have anything else that needs to come before the board right now?
Sure.
I have a question for Carrie, Tim.
Okay,
Are you watching the budget in case you have in case the county has a cut in, the income tax? I know with our city, we're concerned that, we may not get a full draw. So are you anticipating any less amount, people not paying their fee? And are you going to be able to adjust to that? Are you looking at that?
Yes and yes. So number one, with us on hold, back to the financials, we still have about 80% of our budget left because some household hazardous waste have been put on hold. On another great level, we have a great reserve. So we are anticipating there probably is going to be a shortfall. What that number is, we will not know until we see the numbers, obviously with taxes being delayed as well under executive order. Those draws come later in the year. However, I am very proud to say the district is very fiscally responsible and we do not foresee a shortfall through the 2020 year. We believe we'll be able to go through on the budget we have and on what our current financial status is.
Great, thanks, Carrie.
You're welcome. I do have two other updates that I'd just like to share as well of some things
Great.
that came up. The first one is going back to the executive order. In the summer, all of our household hazardous waste locations are held on school grounds. With the governor's order that all schools are not to be occupied through June 30th, we have actually received some schools asking us to reschedule or that their facility would not be allowed. So I just wanted to give the boards a heads up. We are looking. We do have calls into all of the schools to confirm. I do know that Dr. McCormick, the superintendent, spoke this morning, and some of the schools have told me they would get back to me to let me know for those dates later. So if you see a big open parking lot or an open spot, we are on the search for household hazardous waste locations. I don't have any desire to cancel. I'm just looking for a new location. And second, one of the things we've been addressing and certainly want to take care of is enhancing our social media and online presence to keep people informed of what's happening within our community in the district.
great. Thank you, Carrie. Anybody have anything else they would like to bring up?
Tim, it's me again. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But
no, go right
Carrie,
ahead.
I remember when Donna was our public relations person, and she would send us all things that we could post on our Facebook, and I don't get anything from the district at all anymore to post. If I wanted to post something, I would probably have to go on the website, but we got things posted to our Facebook timeline, and then we shared it, and I get nothing now.
I don't either. And I do miss that because it was a way of
Oh,
letting
yeah.
our people follow us know that, yeah, what's up. Because when we were closed for such a length of time, there was a lot of people calling, wanting to know what was going on. It would be so much easier if we had that ability to post like we did before.
Okay, thank you. We will look into it. There were posts going. I'll have to look into the history of what was being done before.
Great. Anything else anybody has? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
It's been motioned and seconded to adjourn. Miss Carrie, would you please read the roll again for us?
I almost forgot the most important one. Commissioner Blaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Graham, Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Mayor Lynch,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes,
Councilmember Gully.
Yes.
It's 5-0.
this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank